Okay, so you guys been sending in a ton of messages about this Hughes fire.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's terrifying.
Yeah. Definitely scary.
We're going to dive into it right now.
Okay.
We're going to unpack what's happening with this wildfire that's raging near Castaic Lake,
Right.
just north of L.A.,
Mm-hmm.
and see what we can learn.
Absolutely.
The scale of this thing is just massive.
It's huge.
I think 31,000 people
Wow.
evacuated,
Yeah.
over 10,000 acres just scorched.
Just scorched earth.
And firefighters are really struggling to contain it.
yeah, they're having a heck of a time.
But we also want to talk about the human cost
Yeah.
of this disaster.
Of course.
The firefighters risking their lives out there,
Oh, yeah.
the families that have been displaced,
Right.
and all the homes and businesses that have been lost.
Yeah, it's really sad.
You know what's really striking to me
Yeah.
is how the terrain itself is almost working against these firefighters.
Well, that's what's really interesting about this specific fire is how the conditions are so challenging.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
What makes this area so difficult
Yeah.
to fight a fire in?
It's a combination of things, really.
Okay.
You've got these really steep canyons
Right.
that act like funnels for the wind,
Oh, wow.
which creates these super unpredictable firestorms,
Oh, gosh.
almost like tornadoes of fire.
Oh, my God.
And then you have this dense chaparral,
Right.
which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's also incredibly flammable.
Yeah.
It burns hot
Yeah.
and fast,
Right.
making it nearly impossible to get ahead of those flames.
I see.
It's like trying to stop a runaway train.
Yeah. That paints a very vivid picture.
It does.
And I know we have thousands of firefighters
Yeah,
on the ground right now.
thousands.
But how do they even begin to tackle something like that?
Right. Well, they're using a combination of tactics.
Okay.
You've got the ground crews
Yeah.
who are cutting these fire breaks,
Mm-hmm.
basically strips of land that are cleared of any vegetation
I see.
to try and starve the fire of
Yeah.
fuel.
Right.
And then you have these aerial attacks,
Yeah.
helicopters and tankers
Right.
dropping water and fire retardant.
I've seen those images.
You've probably seen those dramatic pictures. Yeah.
It's amazing
Yeah.
to see those pilots in action.
Yeah, they're very skilled.
But even with all of that,
Right.
containment is still really low.
It is.
What are the biggest challenges they're facing right now?
I think one of the biggest is the wind.
Oh, yeah.
It shifts direction so quickly,
Right.
pushing the fire in completely unpredictable ways. And then there's just the issue of access.
Right.
Some of these areas are so rugged and remote, it's incredibly difficult
I see.
to get equipment and personnel
Yeah.
where they need to be.
Right.
It's a logistical nightmare.
It really is.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we have tens of thousands of
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
who've been forced to flee their homes.
Yeah, you can't even imagine.
It's hard to fathom
Yeah.
what they must be going through.
It's a traumatic experience.
It is.
Having to leave everything behind,
Right.
not knowing what you'll come back to.
Right.
And honestly, the support system for evacuees is stretched so thin.
I'll bet.
Shelters are overcrowded, supplies are limited,
Wow.
and the emotional toll is immense.
Yeah,
It's heartbreaking
it is.
to see families huddled together,
Yeah.
just wondering about their future.
It really underscores
It does.
the human cost of these wildfires.
Absolutely.
And we haven't even talked about the long-term impact.
No, we haven't.
The homes and businesses that have been destroyed.
Right.
The economic fallout.
Right.
The potential for mudslides
Yeah.
when the rains eventually come.
Exactly. And the thing about mudslides is they can be just as destructive as the fire itself.
Oh, wow.
The burned soil can't absorb water.
Right.
So when it rains,
Yeah.
you get these fast-moving torrents of mud and debris that can just wipe out anything in their path,
Wow.
making the recovery process that much harder.
Gosh, it's like a domino effect.
It is.
One disaster
Yeah.
leading to another.
Yeah.
And we see these devastating wildfires in California
Yeah.
almost every year now.
Mhm.
Is this the new normal?
That's the question a lot of people are asking.
It is.
And sadly, the answer is increasingly looking like yes.
Yeah.
Climate change is a huge factor here.
It is.
We're seeing hotter temperatures,
Right.
prolonged droughts, these intense wind events,
Yeah.
all of which are creating the perfect conditions for these wildfires to ignite and spread.
Yeah.
It's like we're stacking the deck against ourselves.
It is.
Yeah,
I read that the cause of the Hughes Fire is still under investigation.
right.
Does that surprise you?
Not really.
Okay.
Wildfires can be sparked by so many things.
Yeah.
Down power lines,
Right.
lightning strikes,
Yeah.
even a carelessly tossed cigarette. And with human activity encroaching further into wildland areas,
Yeah.
the risk just keeps going up.
It does.
But, sometimes it's not human-caused at all.
All right.
Lightning strikes are a major factor in California wildfires.
Right.
Yeah,
It makes you realize how vulnerable we are
it does.
to these forces of nature,
Absolutely.
especially in a changing climate. It feels overwhelming.
It's a lot to take in, for sure.
Yeah.
But I always try to remind myself that we're not powerless.
That's good.
We can make choices
Okay.
that reduce our impact on the environment,
Right.
advocate for policies
Uh-huh.
that address climate change,
Okay.
support organizations
Yeah.
working on the front lines of wildfire prevention and recovery.
Right.
It's about taking action,
Yeah.
both individually
Okay.
and collectively.
Right.
We can make a difference.
That's a powerful message.
Yeah.
It's not about giving up.
Yep.
It's about finding ways to be part of the solution.
Yes.
For all of you listening,
Yes.
as this situation continues to evolve,
Right.
remember to stay informed through those reliable sources and consider how you can make a difference.
Yeah.
Even small actions
They can add up.
can contribute to a bigger impact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's not forget the people
Yes.
who are right now living through this disaster.
Yeah, our thoughts are with them
Our thoughts are with them.
as they navigate
Yeah.
this incredibly
Well,
difficult time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.